Que lo que mi gente, welcome to the Monoplaza F1 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Emi Bertre, and today it's a rare one. I haven't done this one since literally the beginning of the year. Today we are going to do a preview episode. Yes, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Baku. This thing was long. It was long. It featured, like, if you didn't watch it, you probably could have started, taken a nap, woken up, came in late to watch it, and you still probably would have caught at least the most important part. It featured 6 red flags and about 3 different cars crashing out. Probably more than that. Actually, I think it was like 4, right? Like Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Leclerc, Piastri. Oh, 5 technically. Behrman. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's going to be a short one. It is going to be a very, 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 very short one. First and foremost, as always, I want to give a shout out. Congratulations to Max Verstappen. I felt like last year I was going to say this, or I was saying this a lot, and this year I didn't think I would have to pull this one out. So, okay. Yeah, Max did his thing. Underestimate him at your peril. That car, I've said it a bunch of times, is not slow. But when you needed him to pull out a performance, when you needed him to do it the most, he did. Yeah. So congratulations to Max Verstappen. Now the thing that kind of is going to be frustrating to me, I for sure thought, McLaren clear runaway winner of this. Their car was the fastest, adapted pretty well. Piastri, strong start. Lando got his in there, whatever, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. You had Max with some sneaky victories. You had Max with he put it on pole and then he got that thing done, right? You think about Japan where nobody could pass. Okay, great. He had one in Monza, the last race that I was at. Okay. And it feels like the momentum is swinging not towards Oscar, not towards Lando, but towards Max. Is Max Verstappen about to snake his way into a 5th world championship? Like, me personally, in my super biased opinion, it's not going to be the greatest comeback ever, but it's up there. And frankly, right now, McLaren is on the cusp of a generational fumble. They're going to get the constructors, so that's not ever in question. Whether they get it in the race tomorrow or whether they get it next race in Singapore, it doesn't matter. They're going to get it, so that's not in peril. What's in peril is the fact that their drivers, based on their rules, have been inconsistent as of late. And of course, like in F1 and Formula One, they always say, you're as good as your last race. Well, recency bias is a crazy thing in Formula One as well, because lately it just feels like neither of them are like really inconsistent or consistent. So Lando and Oscar, right? Oscar, I think before he crashed out today, was on track to probably have a stormer of a lap. Maybe, who knows? He was going to get the track record. And then just a rare mistake by Oscar Piastri. He'd been having kind of issues with the car, both of them all weekend, but a rare Piastri mistake saw him into the wall. And so at that moment, like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, surely, we are going to get a Lando Norris pole because the car is fast. We're going to get, something crazy happening, blah, 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 blah. And the last thing that I expected to happen, and maybe I shouldn't have been surprised, was Lando not doing anything at all. Oh, see, this is me trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for? This is me trying to be objective, right? So today in qualifying, after Oscar crashed out, I'm thinking to myself, okay, surely, we're going to get a Lando Norris pole. This is where you capitalize, right? Let's keep this interesting. He's only 31 points behind Oscar. So Oscar, because he crashed out, would ultimately qualify P9. Okay, Lando, in a course that I wouldn't say is difficult to pass, but it's not super easy to pass. You land in first place or P1, you get pole, you get this dub. Oscar, best case scenario, gets P3, P2, and now you're inching closer and closer and closer, right? It's got to be like near perfect between them, right? Lando couldn't capitalize. I don't really know how else to say that. Lando could not capitalize. And in the end, he ended up being out qualified by Yuki, by George, by Kimi, by Liam, by Carlos, who almost had pole, which I was kind of rooting for a Carlos Sainz pole, and ended up qualifying P7. And so the thing that's bothering me, that's bugging me, and why I feel like Max is sneaking his way into a Raikkonen style championship, a dub is a dub. So it doesn't matter whether he wins by 1 point, whether he wins by 1,000 points, a dub is a dub, fifth WDC, fifth in a row, whatever. Okay, what's bugging me about McLaren is not only the frustration, the inconsistencies with their strategy, and like, hey, we got to keep this fair, right? Like, no, what are y'all doing? No. But you stack that on top of drivers who have been having an inconsistent performance as of late. And I know it's like track specific, and I know obviously Monza was what it was. It was weird to do a little swap between Oscar and Lando. Okay, it was also weird that they waited until, I don't know, I think there was like 5 laps left before like bringing them into the pits. It was super, 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 super weird. So because of that, what I am saying is like incompetent. And I'm saying this, by the way, like I actually like, I'm a big McLaren fan. All right. Big McLaren fan. By the way, shouts out Mario Medal for this cap. If you live in DR, you got to check out Perfect Lap Stop. And again, I'm even going to pull out this guy too, right? Like, I like McLaren. I mean, for obvious reasons, I've liked McLaren for a while, right? But I just don't understand what they're doing right now. That's not to take away anything that happened today with Max and qualifying, because he did the thing. Max did the damn thing, and I can't even fault him for that. No one's going to fault him for that, but he did what a champion does. He didn't pull that car from the trenches because, again, that car was in a good window all weekend. He just pulled it out when he needed to pull it out, just like a champion does, right? But again, back to McLaren, the frustrating part is that they haven't been able to capitalize based on strategy, and their drivers haven't been able to capitalize based on just their inconsistency. So again, tomorrow, they're out of place, right? So Oscar P9, Lando P7. They're going to be moving their way up the field, and they're going against Mercedes. They're going against Racing Bull. They're going against a Williams. So Oscar and Lando should find themselves behind Max. The problem is that unless something catastrophic happens at the beginning, where like Carlos does something stupid, or Liam forgets that he's on the sister team and he does something stupid, Max most likely is going to win this race. And so I am, if nothing, a pessimist. Count me in the camp of Max Verstappen getting a 5th World Driver Championship, as much as I don't want it. You got to recognize real, I guess. I don't know. All right. So quickly, let's go through the qualifying order, starting obviously from the bottom of the list. You have one Alexander Albon, who he had a posted time, lap of 1:43.778. But the issue with Alex is that he had a headwind that was, I think, about 20 kph, pinned that car down. He wasn't able to make the turn like he should, or like he wanted to, or made the car move. Anyways, I don't know if he grazed or clipped. I saw it, so I know what happened. I just don't know if you would use the word graze or clip that left front side, and that was all she wrote. The car was done. So Alex then qualified in P20. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, with some strategy, that car is pretty good in straight lines. He can get up to P10. All right. We'll see what happens, right? Above him is Pierre Gasly, who finishes or is going to be starting P19. Gasly, honestly, ever since he signed that contract renewal, the feeling in my head was like, Pierre, blink twice. Blink twice if you need some help. I know that money, that contract must be good. I don't know, that Mercedes power unit coming next year must be good, but ever since he signed that contract, I have not seen joy in Pierre in his eyes. But he'll be starting P19 tomorrow. In front of him, Esteban Ocon, who continues to have, I don't even know, Ocon's got like probably some of the worst. Like, if you go back and watch his video during Q1, he was basically fighting with a tree branch that was stuck uh, in his cockpit the entire time. My man's got to have the worst luck. And so dealing with that, and then ultimately couldn't get it together, just control issues with the car, wind, all of that, ended up finishing or qualifying P18 with a 143 Dolo 4. Yeah, I don't even know. He again is out qualified by his teammate Oliver Behrman, who is a talent, obviously, to behold. A young driver come out of the Ferrari Racing Academy. Who knows if he'll end up there after Lewis Hamilton is gone? But yeah, we'll see. Above Ocon is Nico Hulkenberg, who after Silverstone has kind of like faded. I don't know if it was like the highlight of his career was getting that podium. He didn't really know what to do if you go back to Silverstone. Nobody gave him any champagne showers, no Moet, nothing like that. But Hulkenberg hasn't really been as good, I guess. Leading up to Silverstone, he was doing some crazy things in that Sauber. Post Silverstone, he kind of disappeared. That being said, it is also probably because his teammate, young Gabby Bortoleto, is a talent and he's rising. He's a former F2 champion. So either way, Hulkenberg also had a mishap. He was another guy. He missed a turn. I think it was turn 4. Missed it completely. Ran into the Tech Pro, and that went his front wing, so he was able to get back into the pits, get a new wing, but at the end it wouldn't have mattered. He posted a 142.916, and he will be starting P17. In front of him is going to be Franco Colapinto. It's crazy what a year has done. My desire is for Franco to find an environment like the one he had at Williams, right? Williams was where he thrived. Williams obviously was where he excelled under the leadership of James Vall. He was doing extremely good, really great. And of course, like anybody would, obviously Franco wanted to drive an F1C and Williams couldn't provide him that. And so Flavio Briatore and Alpine paid him buku bucks to go over there, but Franco unfortunately has not delivered. And I was like Colapinto. I really like that guy is a yapper. I'm a yapper. Yeah. Anyways, and so this was a situation where going into qualifying, Pierre missed a turn. He went into the runoff. Great. Either Franco was not paying attention or whatever happened. He turned and the car would just not turn like how he needed to, and he crashed, wrecked it. Okay. I don't know where that leaves us. I think Flavio's thinking, hey, buddy. And by the way, if you go, when they showed the many faces of Flavio Briatore after he saw both his drivers, one driver in the runoff and another driver into the wall wrecking the car. Yes. Very classic, but very muted Italian faces coming out of Flavio Briatore. He's probably thinking, Franco, hey, big dog, I'm going to have to take some out of your pockets to pay for this because it's not good. And so, I don't know where the quote is, but Franco's got a couple races to make an impression because it's basically between him and Paul Arun for who is going to take that seat next year. He has not received a contract extension. So hoping for the best, maybe an entire year under the team, maybe time in new regs, new car, new power unit. I don't know. Good luck. In front of Franco is Ali. Ali finished P15, 142.666. Aléjate de mí, Satanás. And Ali, it was very weird. He had been having a fairly decent qualifying session. And then he crashed, but it was like he grazed it. The car on the outside did not look like it had any damage, but apparently there was enough damage that the car was not able to finish, which is kind of sad. Behrman's been having a so-so rookie campaign, getting his wings under him, but he out-qualified his teammate Esteban Ocon again. So, okay. The first of two Aston Martin mentions are going to happen right now. Lance Stroll starting P14. Great. I got nothing to say. The wind was kicking his ass. He was on their radio cussing up a storm. No pun intended. Okay. He starts in P14, not P18. He starts in P14. And I assume he'll probably make his way up, probably finish like a P11 or maybe a P10, depends on if his car is faster than Albon's car, right? In front of Lance is Gali Bortoleto, who finished outside of Q2. or outside of Q3s. He didn't make it to Q3. He made it to Q2. Bortoleto has been having a really, 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 really great campaign as of late. Had a great outing in Monza. Had a great outing in Hungary before that. I'm not going to say that I expected more. This course is a little bit difficult. It's a street course, obviously. And it's not that it's new to him, so he's familiar with it, but he's in a car that is now faster than the car he was driving last year. So yeah, he finds himself behind Lewis Hamilton in front of Lance Stroll, which takes us to Lewis Hamilton. So the story out of there is that Lewis had been having a spectacular weekend throughout, right? He'd been doing excellent jobs in free practice 2, free practice 3, posted the fastest time in FP2. I try not to get hype about that because after all, it is just practice, but it was definitely promising. So I was like, okay, yes, we got it. But for whatever asinine reason, Ferrari decided that they were going to leave Lewis out on some old softs, some 5-lap old soft tires. I won't say definitively whether or not, on top of being on old softs, whether his lap was ruined by his teammate in front of him, because on the first one, Charles went straight ahead, kind of messed him up, but I don't really know how that messed him up. Someone better than me can explain that to me. The second time, Charles also had an incident, but regardless of any of that, Lewis was saying, hey, I'm having issues with my rears. Help me. I need to cool the rears. Hey, can we change to medium tires? So Lewis wanted the medium tires because he felt those had better grip and he could do better on it. The team did not want to do that. They didn't respond. They didn't do anything. I don't even think my man knew that he was at risk of elimination. He was in P10. Nobody was saying anything to him. And it's sad because obviously later on Lewis would say, I really felt like I could. Yeah, sorry, had to sneeze, but I muted that. Lewis really felt like he could. He was on for pole, but unfortunately, the strategy did not work out in a way that he wanted it to work out. And so, yeah, he unfortunately will start P12. He's got a lot of mediums, which is a good tire. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. In front of Lewis is Fernando Alonso. So Lewis finds himself in a managee sandwich right now between Bortoleto and Alonso. Great. Alonso starting P11. Really didn't hear a lot from him during free practices or anything like that, but he at a time posted 141.87 or 857. So that's the second and last mention of Aston Martin. Now, in front of Alonso in P10 is Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, I feel like Baku is either pole or nothing, and it's always the same turn. So turn 15 for Charles Leclerc, they have generational beef. Every time Charles has crashed out at Baku, it has been turn 15. Yeah. It kind of felt like he was close a couple times to crashing out and it didn't happen. Finally, that last time, he just got caught out and he brought out the second to last red flag of the session. At that point, everyone was basically like, oh, shoot, like, what the heck, right? Anyways, and so he starts P10. We'll see if he can do anything. I do feel like the speed of the Ferraris, they are out of place in spite of their like terrible qualifying. Will one of them finish on podium? I don't know. Doubtful. But depending on how it is tomorrow, if tomorrow's race is anything like today's qualifying, there's going to be a lot of safety cars and a lot of strategy. And if it's down to strategy, then they're definitely not. They're definitely not going to be on a podium, but who knows? We'll see. In front of Charles is Oscar Piastri again. Rare mistake by Oscar. He starts in P9. Like I said, he was on course to a generational lap. He brought out the final red flag of the session. At that point, it had started raining a little bit, so the track was probably starting to get a little bit slick. It's a rare mistake by Oscar. He knows it. I know he'll bounce back. I say that, I don't know him personally, but it feels like he'll bounce back from that. But yeah, uncharacteristic mistake by Oscar Piastri, and who knows how this will affect his championship out tomorrow. And then you have Isaac Hadjar, who was out qualified by Liam. Isaac had a pretty solid qualifying session, not a lot to say, but both of the Racing Bulls, I don't know. if I remember correctly, it's the second race in a row that both of them make it to Q3. So congratulations to both those guys. Oscar's my son. That's my nephew. That's my personal rookie of the year. So it's great to see that guy get up there. In front of Isaac is Lando. I said everything I need to say about Lando. Lando started P7. He could have capitalized. He could have been way ahead of his teammate. Instead, he finishes 2 positions above his teammate who crashed. So we'll see what happens, right? Anyways, in front of Lando P6, Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki quietly is having a resurgence. Once they got a new TP at Red Bull who started giving them, I keep saying that. I know I've said this multiple times, but once they got that new TP at Red Bull, all of a sudden everybody's like, hey, yeah, Yuki, you actually are closer to Max than what it was showing since freaking Japan. And so Yuki starts in P6. It's great for him. In front of him are the Mercedes, P5, George Russell, P4, Kimi Antonelli. George has been sick all weekend. Has been complaining about the car. Kimi got a pep talk from Torger, which is a little bit weird, right? Like, Toto's just and whatever. He is the TP. He's the shareholder. All of that for Mercedes has just kind of been like, not dissing Kimi, but more or less being like, yeah, I expected more, and it's been a little bit. Monza was really underwhelming, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, Kimi almost didn't make it out of Q1. He needed one more lap, but obviously all of the freaking red flags made it really difficult for him to be able to get a lap in. So Toto comes on the radio as like, okay, Kimi, and I'm not even going to attempt to do the accent anymore because I can't do accents. He was saying to Kimi, all you need to do is just get one clean lap in and we'll be good. And Kimi delivered, but it's kind of like, man, just lay off, Toto. All right, just let Bono do his thing, because Bono's the guy in Kimi's ear. Bono's the trusted voice, right? Like, you're just all over the place. That being said, that being said. So I don't know. Susie Wolf's husband needs to just kind of relax for a little bit. Now we're going into our top 3 in a very, 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 very random top 3. I don't know the last time somebody from New Zealand was in the top 3 for starting a race, but there you have Liam Lawson out-qualified his teammate. For a little bit, he was on the front row with Carlos Sainz because, again, several red flags. And I thought, frankly, that like they were going to green flag the race while it was still raining, but they didn't. Still, Liam was able to put a good time up, and he was able to finish in behind Carlos. We'll see what the actual pace of that Racing Bull is and whether or not they'll actually be able to capitalize on that. I surmise that the best him and Isaac can do is probably like a P5, P6 best case scenario, but more than likely it'll end up like a P6, P7 or P7, P8. Or P6, P8, one of those things. So either way, congratulations to Liam. Really goes to show that the kid actually had some talent. He was just on the wrong team and got elevated, got promoted, maybe a little bit too soon. Now, in front of Liam Lawson is Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz had provisional pole for a really long time. I was low-key kind of cheering for him. And everybody knew, right? Like, he had provisional pole, but most of us knew that unless it started raining and there just was not enough time to put a lap in, there was no way that Carlos was going to basically still end up with pole, right? There was still enough time and still a McLaren to go, a Ferrari to go, Mercedes, like all these cars that are faster than the Williams, right? Either way, Carlos, honestly, he was able to put in a lap that was not that much slower than Max. He had a 141.595 to Max's 141.117. Now, obviously, it's almost half a second faster or slower than Max, but still, congratulations to Carlos Sainz. He's now ahead of, I think, Alex Albon in the teammate qualifying head-to-head, so okay. And then finally, P1, starting from P1, the pole man himself, Max Verstappen. There's really not a whole lot to say. He put in a crazy time, did what he had to do, so now he starts P1. Now, expectations for tomorrow. I'm honestly, I'm hoping for a lot of safety cars. I think the weather is supposed to be similar to what it was today, so really windy, kind of cool. So it favors some teams, but really that wind is going to be an X factor. And obviously, the drivers are going to be a little bit more cautious, given that hey, we don't have to go breakneck speed like we did when we were doing all these other things because we were qualifying, and that's no longer necessary. But you can never count out Mother Nature. You can never count out anything that's going to happen. And so we will see what happens tomorrow. I am hoping for safety cars and people being safe. So I don't want anybody to die, obviously. But we'll see. In terms of who do I think is going to win the race, my money is probably on a Max P1 finishing the race. Unless Carlos and Liam do something crazy. And in that case, if they do, then my money's on a Lando Norris winning the race. My hopes and dreams and wildest imagination, I always got to find a way. Always got to find a way. Is that somehow a bunch of safety cars find Lewis Hamilton in a position where he's able to capitalize and he's able to get P1 and he wins the race. So, yeah, that's pie in the sky. But if it happens, you heard it here first. And so for my top three and my podium for tomorrow, I'm going to go with Max Verstappen P1, Lando Norris P2, and I'm going to leave. I'm going to say a George Russell P3. So got Max, Lando, and George, and probably like the weirdest podium for Azerbaijan. And by the way, congratulations to Azerbaijan. They have now been extended to 2020 or 2030. So for the next 4 years, you are going to see Azerbaijan on the circuit. And that's it, y'all. Hey, it was going to be real short. Congratulations to Max. That's my preview. Definitely tune in to the race tomorrow. Prior to this qualifying, I was not thinking it was going to be an exciting race. Post qualifying, if it continues the way that it is going, I feel like it is going to be an exciting race. But yeah, that's it. Hey, it's another random qualifying episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. It costs you nothing. And don't forget to tell your tíos, your tías, your mommies, your papis, abuelos, abuelas, hermanos, hermanas, vecinos, that's neighbors if you don't speak Spanish. For the Monoplaza F1 podcast, this is Emi Bertre. Peace.